right, 99.9 Punk World Radio FM. You already know what time it is, and right here we are live for another episode of Elite Wrestle Talk right here on the airwaves. This time we actually have the WWE 2K19 $1 million champion. This man whooped AJ Styles' ass on WWE 2K19 to get laced up with a giant bag of $1 million. We got Stephan, the Golden Voice Benson, right here live on the radio station airwaves. Man, how are you doing tonight, dude?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. Just kind of relaxing. I was about to do some streaming for Hitman a little later on. Big Hitman fan outside of pro wrestling, so yeah, if you want to check me out, we'll get to all that information a little later on. But aside from the $1 million challenge, as great and amazing as that is, I am also your only two-time 2K undisputed world champion, having just won the WWE 2K Games Hall of Champion Invitational Tournament and inducted into the Hall of Champions right there. And even better, let's just show it for all the fine people out there in the digital world. The GOAT from direct from WWE 2K, class of 2023.
Yeah. And honestly, man, I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, I have had the opportunity to play this man at this video game, and I am telling you, all these accolades are most definitely worth it. I will say he whooped my ass like every which way from right here all the way to Sunday. But I gotta say, I always thought I was the GOAT, man. And then I ran into you in one random lobby on the Xbox Series X, and I was like, okay, I am like literally a sheep compared to this guy.
I'm so sorry. I pulled the rock. I was like, no. Mess around and find out, boy. Mess around and find out. No, man, I'm messing with you.
But no, honestly, dude, when we actually first met on the Xbox, I have to say, man, I knew something was different with you. Because I didn't put the connection together at first, dude. And then when you started doing those, like, really, really, like, creative voices, and I was like, man, this guy has to be, like, you know, like, I thought you were a voice artist of a cartoon or something like that, man. But then when you actually said who you were, and I Googled it, and I was like, yo, like, I'm literally playing, like, the guy right now, man. So it's pretty cool how video games works, man. You never know who you're going to run into.
That is very true. I mean, especially when you jump in these like late night lobbies and you just somebody's kind of you feel that a lot of the really so-called good people want to get in late night lobbies because they want to get an easy win. If somebody just wants to play the game and enjoy the match, they think they're going to trash him. That's not me. I'm playing all day and night, practicing regardless of who I'm facing, but there are people who will prey on people like that. Like, go ahead, jump into this late night lobby, and you can tell from the screen name this is going to be a really effed up match. I don't feel like this tonight. You know they're going to be up to order BS. You know what I'm talking about, brother. You know what they be up to.
Yeah.
So
I will admit, sometimes I like being a menace. Me and my buddy, you actually met that night as well. Sneaky Shoes. We actually sometimes like to go in a lobby, do a regular triple threat match, and then if we find the guys, you know, using the same move or spamming buttons and whatnot, you know how some people do, we just gang up on them and make them actually quit. So like he was feeling I said to him that night when we were playing, I was like, man, this guy's actually good. Let's give a real match. And then because like, we do that, we jump in a triple threat, and if people start acting all like weird and like
they try to hack and mod or do dumb shit.
Yeah, we just double team them out of nowhere, and then they get mad, and then we laugh about it and go to the next victim.
Pretty much. Now, I will tell you more so than not, I get double team, triple team, quadruple team, 5-on-1, 6-on-1, 7-on-1 in matches. And people will say, you're spamming moves, you're doing hacked moves, or unbreakable moves. I'm like, number one, I've spoken with the developers directly. Yes, there are certain moves that are unbreakable. We're all aware of that. That's not intentionally. Some moves happen that way. Pretty soon, most moves will probably be breakable, but other moves being broken up at certain points would probably glitch out too much, which is why they have them being the way they are. And I get that. But to get back to my original point of people thinking that I'm spamming or hacking or modding, I had to sit down and explain to somebody, you're not reversing my move because you're not choosing the right button. Nothing I'm using is glitching. He was like, all right, prove it. I was like, okay, I was using LA Knight, and I was using a sidewalk slam. I said, press the X button. He wasn't reversing it that entire time. He pressed the X button. He reversed it. Then I started switching it up and doing it another way and just doing that move. I said, dude, if you press A or X, you're going to reverse. You keep banking on the same thing. And that goes for anybody online. Go ahead and keep banking on X. Keep banking on A. Make it simpler for people like us that are better than you. It's fine. And I'm talking that shit because we are.
And that's the thing, man. A lot of people forget that 2K actually implemented new reversals as well. It's not just the Y button anymore, man. So if I hit the X button when you actually hit the X button to throw a punch, it will reverse that, man. So it's all about timing. And if
people forget all about that.
I even forget about it sometimes too, man. Because I'm an old school WWE gamer. Like I grew up on the No Mercy, the WWF.
Yep.
WrestleMania 2000 and SmackDown, Know Your Role. So sometimes I will admit I forget that, but then I'm like, wait, 2K made this shit easier, you know what I mean? So sometimes I gotta snap myself back into that mode and be like, all right, like I gotta
more ways to reverse, more ways to protect yourself in a match. It's like it's not just the Y button. It's like being able to use A, B, X, Y. It's like that's perfect. So I'm like, damn, if I'm in a dicey, spicy situation, I got multiple ways to get out. So thank you, 2K, for that, because situations get heated online. Trust me, they do.
Oh yeah. And also, too, as well, especially if you're in those dicey situations and you're facing off against an individual that is spamming a lot of the same moves and doing the same moves very chinsily, being very chintzy, once you know what button they actually hit for that, it's game over for them, man. You took away their entire game plan.
Oh, when you can press the start button and look at the whole combos and finishes. Oh, it should only be for your superstar, not for theirs. That's my only problem. I don't mind. That's fine if I can see mine, but in an offline match is okay. You're all going to see each other's movesets. But as far as online, that's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. If I just have to be honest, it does screw up your strategy. Now, yes, a true gamer, you can get past that, of course, but it's like it's unnecessary because it's like, why do they need to know that? That's the point of being the best, is working out strategies and move sets that are hard for people to get around. Not glitched out, just well chosen, well timed, well curated move set that flows together. Every single animation, I can guarantee, and he can attest to this, folks, that I've chosen in my moveset flows like water. It flows like it's just like the entire move was built together. My combos, it could have a 4 or 5 hit combo, and I can guarantee you it looks nice and like they built it together as one smooth move. I spend hours.
It flows like beer at the Super Bowl, man. Straight up, she flows.
I'm just saying, folks. And when folks like us face each other, yeah, we get a bit of a stalemate. We go back and forth, but we ultimately have amazing matches. Now, when people try to jump in our matches, you get your asses double teamed because you start doing the dumb shit that we don't like. So how about you don't? Let's say we did and just don't. As a matter of fact, don't even say we did, because you can get your ass triple teamed. Because I got their back. Or is it this way or is it this way? Because I'm looking at my cam.
I think it's this way, yeah. This way. But I'm technically mirrored as well, so I guess this way.
Okay.
Sorry, this way, yeah. There you go, yeah, because I'm mirrored. Yeah. But one thing I have to ask, man, going back to way before, all these amazing accolades within your life, man, especially with WWE and whatnot, what actually first got you into wrestling, man? Because I'm genuinely curious, man. Like, what was like the first wrestler that actually sparked the love and your passion for this business, man? Because I see your work not even just in video game wise, but like also through independent promotions as well that we're going to get into. But I got to know what sparked all this, man, because you have such a high level of passion for the wrestling business.
My father got me into professional wrestling. I mean, pretty much around 5, 6 years old. Since I was old enough to know enough of what I was watching. Okay, these are people fighting, wrestling. And I would watch it with my father. He was a huge fan. May he rest in peace. And I always wanted to know and figure out a way to get involved in professional wrestling that was an avenue that not just worked for me, that I would excel in with exceeds expectations in every department. And professional wrestling with ring announcing, is it using my voice, being a correspondent, being a voice actor, referee. I started out managing. I managed the Nigerian Nightmare, Safu and Mafu. Their actual names were Charles Bell and Aaron Gainey. And Aaron Gainey is the man who discovered me on the independent circuit. I was at a WWE event of all events, announcing in the parking lot. That's where I come from. I got noticed on the independents from going to WWE events, trying to get noticed by them, bringing an imaginary microphone just like this. And there are videos of me holding an imaginary microphone, giving wrestlers introductions until I had the money to buy a microphone, all those years ago. And it was just show, this is where I belong. This is what I love. And now I'm going to show them, y'all are going to bring me on. I'm going to do this to the point where you're like, no, he's too good. How are we not bringing him on? Everything in its own time, in its own good time. But boy, I want to be there. It's like, I know I'm ready to be up there competing and being or more should I say, working alongside and with the best. Because it's more so the compete. It's not even competing. You're working together as a family. There, you're working together as a team. Yes, you can say you're independent contractors, but you still ultimately want to be a part of, be it WWE, be it AEW, be it Impact, be it NJPW, ROH, whatever it may be, whatever promotion that floats your boat that you particularly want to be at. And I know that I fit the WWE mold. It's just a fact of timing. It's just a fact of timing. And my in was my voice. My dad was a public speaker when he was younger, so I got that from him. Always having a microphone, ready to say something, hopefully funny or witty. Sometimes I can be corny. I'll admit I can be corny.
Hey man, we already learned that about myself as well. I think we all could be corny, bro. I think when we first met and I saw your amazing voice acting, I'm like, straight up, man, you got to do the Good Burger. You know what I mean? Like, once I heard that, I was like, all right.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Oh, I'm Cal.
Like, literally, once you did that, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I legitimately was like, I literally flicked my mic off and I was like, this guy's like fucking seriously legit. Like, excuse my language, but I gotta say, I was like, this guy was like legit, man. I was like, what? I immediately was like, who is this guy? Like, I have to know who the hell he is. Like,
that would be the man with the gold net.
And speaking of that, man, as well, like, the amazing voice skills, I also read as well read an article from the Philadelphia Inquirer that was published on July 4th, 2014, that you actually had the opportunity to audition to be a WWE announcer in the year 2013. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about that audition, and of course, during your time and that audition, did you get the chance to meet any WWE personnel during that audition meetings, like Michael Hayes, or like, obviously, Triple H, Vince McMahon? Who actually was running these auditions back then in 2013?
So the way the whole audition came about was I was at WrestleMania Access in New Jersey, New York, and it was at the Izod Center. One of the most odd setups for Access I've ever encountered, just as far as like the way the arena was set up, but it was fun nevertheless. Anyway, Chris Jericho was doing a question and answer in the ring, as wrestlers tend to do at Access. Fans were allowed to submit answers and questions to them. And I had a question, but it wasn't a question out of the norm. It was, Mr. Jericho, may I introduce you? May I give you a ring introduction? Now, where this all stemmed from was the year prior when I went to WrestleMania 28 in Miami. I introduced Chris Jericho as he was sitting at a WrestleMania Access doing a signing. And I was waiting on the side for him to come do the signing there. But more so, I just wanted to have a video of me introducing him, trying to impress him, showing him this. I love what I do, but I'm great at what I do. I'm amazing. I'm the best at what I do. And I'm willing to prove that in front of the best, with the potential to embarrass yourself, because they could hate it. So I continued to do that. But I introduced Chris Jericho at WrestleMania Access. He remembered me from the year prior. The crowd went crazy enough. The videos are on YouTube. Stephan, Benson, Chris Jericho, WWE, WrestleMania 29 Access. And shortly after that, before Access ended, he sent some of the producers after me to find me, not after me like that, but to find me and get my information and everything. And soon thereafter, I'd earned an interview, an audition with the biggest sports entertainment company in the world, WWE. And I was so thankful and still am to this very day. I was supposed to go back for a second interview. I, stayed in contact, did what I needed to do. It just seemed, I guess, things kind of got lost in the shuffle. And, that's pretty much the best that I can say as far as that. Hopefully that will, in time, sooner than later, preferably, will be an avenue I'm down once again. And I know with time I will be. I'm just got to be patient and continue to work hard, pay my dues. But I was very close to potentially being brought on, because I don't think they'd bring you back in the broadcasting, interview process of things for the second interview if they didn't plan on bringing you on. So it gives me hope and thinking I was supposed to interview, with at the Michael Cole at the time, and that would have been amazing. But one day, I'll just keep working hard towards that and earn another opportunity.
And I gotta say as well, Samantha is absolutely great, man. But I gotta say, I gotta go with my man Stephan. I'm telling you, WWE, you gotta give this man a chance. You know what I mean? Like, even if you put him on NXT, it doesn't matter. Give the golden hat his microphone, man. Give the golden hat his golden microphone. What y'all doing? Come on, man. Give
golden voice.
Give the golden voice a golden mic. That's what you need. And I do know as well that you have actually been a ring announcer as well for many independent wrestling promotions. And I do know you actually did get the opportunity to do a few WWE house shows as well, if I'm not mistaken. I was wondering, do you actually remember the very first promotion you actually did announcing for? And of course, what ultimately got you connected with that position in that very first company that you actually had the opportunity to work for?
Yes, it was WWA, Worldwide Wrestling Alliance, owned by Dino Santa. Amazing guy, amazing man, and that was my first opportunity announcing on the independents before I then moved to other wrestling promotions in time as I continued to polish and learn my craft and also learn the wrestling business. What the do's and don'ts. So. Hold on, I'm losing my train. The do's and don'ts of the wrestling business. And Aaron Gainey, the man I was telling you about a little bit earlier, my mentor, my brother, till the end, like God rest his soul, he's passed on. He is the one who gave me my start in professional wrestling. And by managing them, I managed and introduced them into their first match. Talk about trash, and then they came in, did their thing, whooped ass. And that was my first introduction into the wrestling world, was managing, not technically not ring announcing, which is one thing many people don't know, is that I started out managing. Though I practiced for ring announcing, the best option for me was doing that managing. It gave me a chance to try out my wrestling chops as a bad guy, as a good guy, neutral. Also being able to introduce them, and in that way being able to show them, oh, damn, he has a voice as well. At the time, I didn't understand it as much. All I knew is that I wanted to ring announce. But very soon thereafter, I learned, my hard-headed ass learned, okay, wait, no, he's doing this all for a reason. He's making sure not only am I a ring announcer, I'm a multifaceted individual in the world of professional wrestling, something that I'm eternally grateful for. And man, I miss him to this day. His name is Aaron Gainey, and his tag team partner, my other mentor, Charles Bell Jr. And man, we traveled up and down the roads from managing to ring announcing to interviewing to commentary. Moving on from WWA, which was one of my first wrestling events, and I announced that alongside my friend David Adams, as well as a friend of ours, Jen, who was the main ring announcer for Worldwide Wrestling Alliance at the time. Then I moved on to New Moon Rising Wrestling over in New Jersey. There was also Devastation, I believe it's Devastation, DWF, Devastation Wrestling Federation, that's over in Jersey. And then Monster Factory Pro Wrestling Syndicate up in New York, FTW, Fight the World Wrestling. Although it was called it was the other word at one point, or so I'm told, as far as the name of that. won CW First State Championship Wrestling, Combat Zone Wrestling, CZW, and the list goes on. That's that Keystone Championship Wrestling, the senior ring announcement for Keystone Championship Wrestling, owned by Kareem Horton. And Monster Factory Pro Wrestling is where I had my, after World Wrestling Alliance, is where I had my first major home. Outside of that was Monster Factory and Danny Cage and all the amazing people over at the Monster Factory. Pretty Boy Larry Sharp, of course, we all know about him, legendary. Yeah. And he gave me a home there, a home to truly polish my craft and skill and tell me what it is that I'm doing wrong, what it is that I'm doing right, what I'm not doing enough, how to be better. And something that I will eternally be grateful for. And to this day, he does that for me. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I want to learn. I want to make sure that I'm being the best that I can be in all facets of my career and life. And damn, that man doesn't give some of the best fucking, excuse my best damn advice.
We are uncensored, man. So definitely.
Oh, okay. Some of the best fucking advice I've ever gotten. And the most genuine advice. He's not going to bullshit you. Same with Kareem Horton, owner of KCW. That's my brother from another, without a question. Been there for me and books me. And I am, like I said, I work for them for him with Keystone Championship Wrestling as well. And they'll be returning pretty soon. Can't say too much about it. I'll let him make the announcement, and when that comes up, we'll talk and maybe we can set something up. It's some really fun stuff coming up this year. But ultimately, my mentor is what got me into professional wrestling and gave me my first start. And the man who ultimately gave the opportunity was Mr. Dino Santa, the owner of Worldwide Wrestling Alliance. That's the very first company that I announced an event for. And that was up in like Hazeltine, PA. I think we were at like a flea market. So it was very humble beginnings and fun. I loved it. I love the atmosphere. To this day, I still do. Those are some of the most passionate fans in the world.
And also as well, during the NXT TakeOver pre-show at the Barclays Center Arena, you actually, defeated AJ Styles in a one-on-one match in WWE 2K19 to become the $1 Million champion and, of course, win $1 million in cold, hard, unmarked bills cash. Kyle, I was wondering if you can actually just tell us the story actually behind that monumental night. And, of course, what was it like, man, just being side by side with the phenomenal one AJ Styles and, of course, whooping that ass, man?
Okay, hold on. Before I do, let me just throw the proper championship on right now, since we're talking about that. This baby right here. Don't worry, I didn't forget about you either. So first and foremost, the $1 Million Challenge, an amazing experience and opportunity to be involved with that with all the other competitors, because there were semifinals as well. So we had Roman Drossard, Gregory Davis, and David Hoy from Germany, Florida, and Australia, respectively. With that being said, we had the semifinals in the 2K19 $1 Million Challenge. Then, of course, in the finals, I faced the phenomenal AJ Styles. Now, everything was amazing in the semifinals. They were intense. But as soon as the bell rung, I kid you not. As a matter of fact, I think the memory is still on Facebook. I'm going to try to share it tonight or screen record it because I don't know how to download a video. AJ Styles interrupts my celebration, WWE style, and cuts a whole promo. We're going back and forth on the mic. Talk about a WrestleMania moment. If I had a true WrestleMania moment, a moment in WWE, it's going back and forth on the microphone with the phenomenal AJ Styles, having the privilege and opportunity and the honor to even be able to share the ring with he or any of the other folks that I was able to share the ring with, because that is not something that is owed. It is a privilege, and that is sacred, hallowed ground. You got to make sure you show respect anytime you're stepping through those ropes, and no matter what you're doing. So to this day, anything that I've been involved with WWE or any wrestling promotion in general, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity, the honor, and the privilege, and I will continue to show respect and thanks. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was just kind of going on.
It's all good, bro. Hey man, I can feel that energy, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, dude, you had the opportunity to like live your dream. You were a part of WWE history on that, man. Because if I'm not mistaken, that is the first really big tournament that WWE and 2K put on. I think that's the one and only $1 million challenge, if I'm not mistaken. They actually did do.
And the
I was
one and
gonna submit
only.
myself in it. I was gonna submit myself into it, but I was like, you know what? No, man. I don't think I would have made it that far, but you know, who would have known? But at the end of the day, man, I'm super glad that a hard-working individual like yourself had that opportunity to
Like,
actually, you know, go against AJ Styles. And for the people that didn't see the video, because obviously, you know, I'm a big follower of World Wrestling Entertainment. I watch it weekly. I've seen all this stuff when it went down, but people that literally might just be learning this today, what superstar did you actually use during your tournament? Because I do know it was all default superstars. Like, who did you actually choose? Because I'm pretty sure,
you don't
obviously, I
want to
already know
know.
AJ Styles used himself.
You don't want to know.
I got it. We got to know, bro. We got to know. No judgment, dude. At the end of the day, no judgment.
I may or may not have taken him to Suplex City. I may or may not have cut my promos from the beginning, from the entry into the tournament. And then even in the tournament, I still continued to talk that trash. I said I was going to take him to Suplex City, all expenses paid. Don't worry about it. I got you. The bells and whistles, I got you. And it was Suplex City. If y'all go and look at the finals, Suplex City is all it took because I'm the golden voice, and yes, I'm going to talk my smack because if I say I'm the best, I mean it. Let it be known here and around the world. Yes, there are many great, amazing players on this planet in WWE games, past and present. But you heard what The Rock said. Mess around and find out, boy, because I ain't the one. I'm from Philly. I will mess you up, and that's all I got to say about that. I'm not the best for no reason. And it's not just about having these championships, it's being able to back it up with strategy, with skill, with domination, with wins day after day, week after week, year after year, continuing to represent with intensity, integrity, and intelligence the three most important eyes in the history of professional wrestling. Of course, we already know who coined that phrase, Mr. Kurt Angle, WWE Hall of Famer, and the one of the only Olympic gold medalists in WWE history. Just had to get that out there.
And before we move on to the next question, all I have to say is you Zach Gowen AJ Styles' ass. That's all I gotta say, man. You gave him that Zach Gowen treatment, man. Straight up, wipe the blood across the chest, man. Straight up. That's what you gave him. You gave him that old school Brock Lesnar type beatdown, man.
Okay, so if you'd seen his response afterwards, they were like, so how did it feel facing Golden Voice? You know, he chose Brock Lesnar. He was like, he's really good. It's kind of like real life because all I was doing was suplexing him. At the time, anytime we saw a Brock Lesnar match back at that point, all he was doing, and for the most part, were suplexes. There's no disrespect. If that's what's happening in the match, I'm going to emulate that. So I suplexed him a bunch of times on the outside of the ring and broke his back. And it's like the thing is, it's kicking out. He wasn't very good at kicking out, and like I said, he didn't practice that much playing the game. I followed anything that WWE posted that they were streaming, like when he was training with Xavier. I needed to be ready. I was ready to the point where I said, even if it shows that he sucks on his stream training for WWE 2K $1 Million Challenge, he's probably really damn good. I gave him the utmost respect, and I said, nah, this man's not gonna be in a challenge like this and not come in and ready to whoop somebody's ass. What's gonna happen is the semifinals are gonna go however they go. They're gonna get there and they're gonna mess around and find out, and AJ Styles is gonna whoop their ass. So I had to be extra ready. I didn't want to take any chances. And with him training with Xavier's an amazing gamer, very great at WWE games. So with a great trainer like that, your boy had to be ready. And then even more so for the WWE 2K Hall of Champions challenge. But he just pretty much said the match was like real life facing Brock Lesnar. I don't know what to say. I just did what I had to do.
And I do know as well, you just mentioned that a few moments ago, aside from being a $1 million champion, you were also the champion of the WWE 2K Hall of Champions Invitational Tournament. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about the backstory about this particular tournament. And of course, how does it feel to actually be labeled the GOAT of WWE games. That's exactly what you are, man. I mean, tournament win after tournament win. You are the GOAT, man.
And get that, make sure you get a nice little shot of that. There you go.
Man, that's
Hall of
shiny.
Champions,
Beautiful.
undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion, and WWE 2K $1 Million Challenge Champion. With that being said, though, put this up here. The WWE 2K Hall of Champions Invitational Tournament was announced last summer. It was announced on the WWE Games social media, on the Instagram, as well as their Twitter and their TikTok. Now, a lot of people would say, it said in the finals when they streamed them that, hey, or even with the post, we didn't know that this was going to happen. The thing is, if you follow their social media, you're going to know. You just have to check through because they tweet a lot of stuff out. So they can post that and then 20 people respond or send something else, and then that's pushed down on the tweets. You have to refresh and go down. Trust me, they make the announcements. As soon as I saw it, I just much like the first tournament, I cut a promo video entry, as everybody's supposed to do, make it unique, original, entertaining, one of a kind. Nothing like, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. How are you going to do it? What's that trash you're going to talk? Like, how confident are you? Show them that you're not just that you okay, you can be about it in the ring, but can you talk that talk too? Can you grip the audience? You all can type in the WWE 2K23 Hall of Champions Invitational on YouTube right now, and you can look at every promo I cut. People, you can call it a promo. That was just me speaking from the heart. I'm in a tournament. You have given me a platform that not only raise and elevate my own brand, but also to continue to represent WWE 2K, WWE games, and WWE in general. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to beat ass. I'm going to take my championships. Benson 3 belts. Let's just get this in there. I'm going to wreck everybody, and I'm going to leave because that's what I do. I'm sorry. Let me get out of promo mode. I got the promo mode. The bottom line
because the Golden Voice said so.
That might be true. That might be true. But submitted the video as did a bunch of other people. But it was a combination of 8 2K Next makers that work for WWE 2K, and then 8 folks regular like me around the world that would submit their videos, and then they would be partnered up with those WWE 2K Next makers. What happened was there was a draft, and the 2K Next makers decided, who they wanted to pick for their respective partners. And once I got picked, it was by Simply Better AM, Aaron Matthews, aka a Simply Better King. Lost my voice a little bit, but we doing all right. We making it work all right. So, lab trained, worked on move sets, made sure everything was as perfect as possible. Like, I strategized the hell out of that to make sure everything was flawless. And then the finals came around. And what is that saying? What has The Rock been saying lately? Can you lead us into that? He's been saying it a lot to Cody Rhodes.
He's been saying a lot of stuff.
When he was beating Cody up backstage.
Crybaby bitch.
That's one of them. Fuck around and find out, boy.
He's been saying so much. That one, yeah. Because he's been saying so much lately, man. I mean, his promo's been absolutely fire lately, man. There's non-stop dialogue, man. It's hard to actually decipher or remember just one thing, man. I'm telling you, only The Rock can get away with what the stuff he says today, man. I mean, like I'm telling you, 2024, there's a lot of crybabies out there, man. So the fact The Rock is running them promos, bro, and saying the stuff he's been saying, and
being on the board of directors. I mean, I guess so. Being on a TKO board of directors, even more so than that. But I love everything that's going on as far as the direction that's going in. But jumping more back on the Hall of Champions Invitational. So my opponents, Poppin' Logan and Jaron Walker, whom I've faced on WWE 2K19. That's Jaron Walker. A Small Afro Games on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and all that great stuff. We faced each other shortly after, as well as before, the WWE 2K $1 Million Challenge. He entered in that, but he didn't get selected. So it was kind of poetic that leading up to the Hall of Champions, he not only is a 2K Next maker, but he is he was one of my opponents. So we didn't get to face each other in the first tournament. but we did in that one, and that was really cool having that opportunity, that moment to really showcase our skill, and what we would do to get around one another's respective strategies, if at all. Papa Logan definitely did his thing. He was all over that ring. King, doing his thing. Then we had Lexi and Cornell on commentary. I mean, and then Asuka, special guest. That was amazing. So, excuse me. I talked until I couldn't talk anymore.
Man, last weekend, which I gotta say, absolutely jealous. I seen your lives, man. I knew where you were last weekend. I have to say, I was watching it on the 72-inch TV, but I was watching your lives, and I was like, man, I'm jealous as fuck right now. But you had the opportunity to attend the showcase of the Immortals, the Super Bowl of wrestling, the legendary WrestleMania 40. I was wondering if you can actually just tell the viewers a bit more about your WrestleMania weekend. And of course, man, what was it like just being there witnessing Cody Rhodes finally getting the opportunity to finish his story after 2 years of trying?
So, WrestleMania weekend, let's get into that. It was a fun weekend. The WrestleMania itself was amazing, beginning to end, no question about it. Every single match, match promo, pyro, everything was amazing. SmackDown, Raw, Hall of Fame, NXT Stand and Deliver was all amazing as well. Got to meet the amazing Haroon twins. They were a huge inspiration for some of the content they create, a lot of the content I create, as well as just a huge fan of their work in general. Like, I wanted to work with them for the longest time. So meeting them and, getting the chance to potentially eventually work alongside them, it's exciting. It's exciting to know to think what kind of amazing content we come up with what they do. And I'm sure you know who they are. The often imitated but never duplicated Haroon twins. Anyway, had to get that out real quick. My voice was hoarse most of WrestleMania weekend, so people didn't get to hear this voice that you're hearing right now. I just won a third tournament actually at Suplex Vintage Wrestling the Wednesday leading into WrestleMania weekend. So, and I got a little rivalry going on. I got a major rivalry going on there, should I say. And that will definitely, maybe we'll do an interview for me and my soon-to-be opponent, rematch my opponent who beat me in the first tournament at SVW. It's going to be some stuff. We're telling a story. We're telling a story. I know I'm kind of all over the place here, kind of covering everything, but this is like kind of WrestleMania related leading up to that weekend. But the weekend itself was cool. It was cool. WrestleMania was great. And Access was cool. Access was great. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'd have to ask, because obviously, seeing The Rock, and because obviously you got the opportunity to see The Rock both nights. I'm pretty sure you were there both nights as well. I have to ask, man, out of both nights, man, what was your favorite match that you actually had the opportunity to witness at the showcase of the Immortals, man? Because I got to say, the past 10 years, I will say, man, there's been WrestleMania has been great for the past decade, but there's always been a few matches where you were like, I mean, it's all right. And then the other matches kind of, outweighed them a little bit and made them look better. But I mean, we'll say WrestleMania 40, man, I'm not even just saying this. WrestleMania 40, honestly, in my opinion, was the best WrestleMania in the past decade, man. Like, it was match after match after match of just nothing but pure awesomeness, man. I didn't even want to leave my seat, dude. Every match was just pure amazing.
Banger after banger after. I completely feel you on that. Let me see. I'm not going to choose the obvious, which could be Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth, which was amazing. Not taking anything away from that. Same with Cody versus Roman. Oh my gosh, they were so amazing. But what I was really looking forward to was the six-pack tag team match with Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill versus Damage Control. Now that was a fun match. That was a fun match beginning to end. And their entrance was, how about that entrance? How did you feel about that? I need your thoughts.
I loved it, man. I really did. I will say, totally jumping to left field here, my all-time favorite entrance, man, was actually the triple threat match between Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. I love the fact that Kevin Owens was on the golf cart and just looked at Randy and was just like, come on. And I
He's like, let's
instantly
go,
was
buddy.
like,
Come on, you and me.
I
Don't
was
worry,
like,
you're gonna whoop
that's
his ass.
sick.
Now
At
that
first I was like Randy. I was like, don't trust him, man. You know what I mean? You're old. You're not as young as he used to be, right? But then I'm like, he jumped on, and I was like, all right, that's what's up.
I was looking forward to the Randy, Kevin Owens and Logan Paul match. Not quite as much, and the only reason is because Logan Paul always seems to manage to just slither out. I mean,
Yeah.
it just was so close. It was so close. But no, he just had to survive. I'm not butthurt, folks. I'm all right. I'm not mad. I promise.
I will say though, I don't know if you had the opportunity to hear it way up there as well, because obviously I know it's different being there than rather than watching on TV. But I will say I'm not a huge Logan Paul fan, so the guy that was in that prime outfit, I know people are like, man, I'm telling you, you should know who he is, but whatever he is, he's not a wrestler to me, so I don't really care. But whenever Orton was like started barking and then put him through the freaking table, I was hollering over here, man. I was like, shit, old school Orton, man.
I noticed. I think it's because the guy barked at him or did something similar, and he was just like, "Oh, so you're tough now. You a bad dog. You a bad." All we needed was Titus O'Neil in that match. Somebody should have done that to Titus O'Neil. That was the moment for that. I love that.
Yeah, I think Titus O'Neil is still under the ring, man. You know what I mean? From the Greatest Royal Rumble. I know some people are like, wait, what? The real, I know you get that. I know the other real ones will understand that. I think Titus is still under there, man.
I'm not commenting on that. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't recall seeing anything like that. Yeah, I tell you, as you no, you didn't trip. I didn't see anything. People are tripping. Somebody video shopped that. Somebody did some really good editing.
Man, I think what happened, man, someone threw a drink or something like that during the previous match, and he was just running and he slipped. You know what I mean? Someone forgot to clean up the little.
It was a glitch. The gauge was broken or something.
Man, there was one of them like, Donkey Kong threw a banana peel out there, man. You know what I mean?
That's what it was. It was a blue shell. Blue shell. It can happen to anybody.
Well, I have to ask.
Yeah.
Oh no, go for it, man. My apologies. Go for it, dude.
No. So one thing I'm just gonna show you all real quick. I know I mentioned to you while we were playing in WWE 2K that I run a federation, a league outside of WWE. It's on WWE 2K, but it's specifically created for my own wrestling federation. So I run this along with my business partners and my bros, Matthew Cavanaugh and James Baylor. I'm sorry, James Powell. I'm thinking of his screen name on social media. This is among one of the championships that we created to compete for. An actual heavy championship that, this is called the United Continental Heavyweight World Championship.
I love that white strap, man. That's crispy. Has that old school like WWF vibe to it, man.
Something like that, paying homage to what came before it, and some of the better title designs. We also have a women's world championship. Let me just, while I'm here, might as well. Don't mind me, folks. Can I turn this camera around while I'm like doing this? Is that even possible?
I honestly, I have absolutely no clue. I've never tried to turn it forward before. Oh, that's a nice tangent. What I'll do is I'll back my camera out there for a second so we can get a full screen of that beauty.
Yep, Women's World Championship right here. This is the EWC Undisputed World Championship that you're seeing. That's the Cruiserweight Champion, the Superflight Championship's coming up, the yellow one that you're seeing. We have a whole banner, of course. We take this very seriously. And we have our Extreme Hardcore Championship is right here. That's for the Men's Extreme Hardcore Championship, the Women's Extreme Hardcore Championship, and the European Television Championship. And then we have all of our tag team championships are up there. Women's tag titles, Superflight, which are the Cruiserweight tag titles, and then we have the men's heavyweight tag titles. We have 3 sets of tag titles, so that way there's a division for everybody to be able to compete in and be a part of things.
Man, those are some crispy titles, man. I definitely love what I see, dude. I mean, those titles are fire, bro.
Thank you. We're trying, and the vision of Elite Wrestling Championships is to give people an opportunity to be involved in the world of professional wrestling that have maybe perhaps aren't able to be involved in the aspect that they like or to the degree that they would like, or maybe that dream somehow was taken from them or altered, and that's just not an option for them to go there. Well, Elite Wrestling Championships, EWC, and WWE games is that opportunity. One might say, but it's a video game. Not everybody wants to play video games. There's something for everybody here. Just like you're going to turn on Raw, like you turn on Raw, SmackDown, or any other show every week. Our shows are run like that. A lot of people record clips of in-game superstars cutting promos. No, we have the people who created the superstars cutting the promos themselves for those specific superstars. So for their female, for anybody, like for any males that have female created superstars for the women's division, you can get your friend or whatever to kind of fill in and play that role on screen. But we have people act out those video game roles in promos. Not just on TikTok, we record promos in general and then post them across social media. People can have the chance to ring announce. We have commentary spots. We have refereeing spots. Yes, again, it's a video game, but it's a safe, fun way to be involved in something really amazing. Be involved in your dream. And my ultimate goal is to get it to the point where people are getting paid to compete, just like they do on WWE or any other promotion. You're literally coming here on a weekly or a monthly basis for our pay-per-views, our premium live events. You're expected to perform to the best of your ability and show up and show out, because we got, people who want to watch it across the world, and we're recruiting all the time for it. But those championships that everybody just saw, that's like my beacon of hope to put out for people that, hey, you matter, you can be a part of professional wrestling, and this is a safe way to do it. And everybody is, fully to be respected. We're putting on a show. We're having fun. Yes, we can tell a story. That's cool if two people don't like each other, but they're wrestling in the game, because guess what? It makes for a great story. We have photo shoots that we do. I mean, we have call times where for a video game, let's just say our Rumble Wars is coming up in a couple weeks, and I'll be posting details about that soon. That's our WrestleMania, but we call it Rumble Wars, and we tried to do the 2-day extravaganza, and it went well. It's just a lot to try to get that many people in the house together. So we usually do a 1-day event. Doesn't usually take all day, but we get everybody together for like the entire day. So we do anything from photo shoots to post-match photo shoots, promos. If we do a promo in real life where, let's just say you and me you attack me backstage, you're over my house and we shoot a promo where you're attacking me backstage before the match, I'll then take the hit point ratio on my wrestler and put it down, so I'm in yellow damage at the beginning of the match, and put a cast on my guy to sell it. We take it that seriously that we want people to really be involved, and we encourage people to invest their ideas into that, because we're always open to hearing new and innovative ways to make the product better.
And I gotta say, man, before we actually part ways here tonight, man, I have to ask, what is next for you? And of course, where can we actually find you across all social media platforms? Because I do know you have such an extensive career within the wrestling community, man. Because I do know we only touch base on like literally maybe 5% here tonight on 99.9 Punk World Radio FM.
So, well, with what I mentioned about Elite Wrestling Championships, all that information will be coming up on that. I'll be creating a social media for it. In the meantime, for Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, you can find me at Real Golden Voice. Again, folks, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Real Golden Voice. You heard it, folks. You heard it first.
Man, you literally just channeled your inner Justin Roberts, man. That's literally what I heard with that. That was like the inner Justin Roberts coming out, man. But if I might say so myself, definitely better than Justin Roberts. So Justin better watch out, because I think the Golden Voice is coming for his job, man.
Well, that's just you're the second person that you're among many people to say that at this point, but second person notably to say that. I will say this. Here's a little Howard Finkel for you. Ladies and gentlemen, please follow me on social media at Real Golden Voice.
Okay, I have that. Can you do Mean Gene Okerlund?
That would take some time to do the Mean Gene. I can do a mean Howard Finkel. It takes some time to do a Mean Gene. Blow it out your asshole, Harry. I got guys that can take out your kneecaps. You ever see that promo on WCW where he threatened Sean O'Hara and was it the Filthy Animals? Was it, or was that? That's not them. What was it them? It was Sean O'Hara and his tag team partner Chuck. No, was it Chuck Palumbo at the time?
I think Chuck Palumbo. Yeah, it was Palumbo. Yeah.
It might have been Palumbo at the time, but yes. Oh, and then hold on. Let me get Tony Chimmel real quick. The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the World Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 240 pounds, is the Rated R Superstar Edge. That's usually what he does, so I had to, really drive it home. Superstar, like that.
Dude, all I gotta say is that, man, I'll do it for everybody that's watching, bro. Like that's perfect. I'm telling you, if you were to have your camera off right now, I'd be like, wait a minute, are you chilling with Tony right now? Are you chilling with the Fink? I mean, like, are you sure you're not the Fink reincarnated there, brother? That's all I gotta say.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Royal Rumble match. Don't get me started, bro. You know I could. Let me stop. I'm good.
But no, I gotta say, first and foremost, man, I gotta say it was such an honor, man. I randomly stumbling upon you and growing this friendship with yourself on the Xbox Series X on WWE 2K24. Actually, sorry, we met on 2K23, man. It was like 2 days before it happened.
Hell yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you play the game enough, you might just run into the Golden Voice. He will whip your ass, but if you can withstand the punishment and Suplex City and the Zach Gowen treatment that he will put you through, you definitely could become friends with one of the best to ever do it. I've already realized that he can whoop my ass, so I'm fine with that. If I feel like getting my ass kicked, I'm like, hey, Golden Voice, I'm ready for that ass whooping. You know what I mean? Let's do it.
Is it okay if I use the Infinity Stones?
But I will say, he'll go easy on you at first, man. Like, straight up, he'll kind of like, get you ready for it. He'll like ease you into the ass whooping.
Wait, not ease you into the ass whooping. I'm sorry,
bro. He will have that like bottle of like baby powder. He would powder in his hand up, getting ready. Then he'll literally just smack you.
Not this man knows me so well. That's hilarious. I would just let people know everything's fine. Everything's fine. Listen, we gonna make sure this is quick and painless. I promise.
Hey man, one thing I gotta say though, man. Me personally, I don't mind getting my ass kicked at these games. At the end of the day, I win a lot of matches. You win some, you lose some. But it's the ones that freak me out over losing over a game, man, are the ones you got to worry about, man. I mean, if I lose, I lose. But best believe I'm gonna come back 10 times harder. And normally I will say I'll come back 10 times harder and win, but with you I'm going to get my ass whooped, but it is what it is, you know what I mean?
Listen, I say I lose.
Golden Voice.
I've lost before. I'm not saying we all lose. I'm not saying that I haven't, I do my best to not. But I get got, trust me, there's people that have gotten me, it's not often.
Hey man, that's why you got to pack them Infinity Stones, bro, you know what I mean? Whenever they're about to get you, man, just whip one of them out and just be like, don't fuck with the stone, bro.
Reality can be whatever I want.
But I gotta say, first and foremost, Stephan, again, man, thank you so much for your time here this evening. It was an honor speaking with you. We definitely have to do this again sometime soon. But for now, man, we'll definitely run into each other on the Xbox again. And whenever we're both free, man, we gotta run up some matches, man. We gotta whoop that ass.
I was just about to say we should run some chambers and just, we can play them fair until people start screwing with us, and then we shut it down.
I'm down with that, man. I will. I'm actually home for Prescott, home from college for the weekend. So unfortunately, my Xbox isn't with me. But Monday night, man, I am down 100% to run some chambers. So I'll hit you up once I get back on my Xbox, bro. It's literally sitting in my dorm. I forgot to bring it back home with me. So, I mean, it's only 2 days. I feel like I can live without it. But now that we've been talking about 2K24 for the past hour, I'm itching, man. So it's like, goddamn, I can't get my fix till Monday night now.
Listen, I need some credible tag team partners online, and there are very few people that I know outside of yourself, personally, that I know can do it. There are a few, but I need people I can rely on. And listen, Monday we whooping ass.
Sounds good to me, brother. You already know. But those other people in the chamber, man, they don't know what's coming. They're gonna get their ass whooped.
It's gonna be unfortunate for them and very entertaining for us.
Definitely, man. We'll make sure we Twitch stream it as well. For that way we both run Twitch. That way we can show individuals, and maybe the people that we kicked, maybe the people's asses that we kicked, they'll stumble upon our streams and realize, like, wow, they just got their ass whooped in front of the entire world.
I mean, they just got to know, mess around, and you find out. At this point, if I may say in closing real quick, because I know we're wrapping it up, I can't stress that enough. On WWE games, y'all can talk all the trash that you want online and offline and in these chats. I'm going to address it. Let's get all that taken care of right now. It don't matter, because when I step in that ring, I'm the best, and I do what needs to be done. I win when it counts. I win a lot, but I definitely win when it counts. So try me, and I'll make you famous. Watch yourselves.
Hey, man, you already know. And that's the golden voice, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Stephan, for your time. It was an honor again, man. We definitely shall talk soon. But for now, man, definitely have yourself a phenomenal night, man. And keep whooping that ass on WWE 2K.
You already know, brother.